Picture this. You're a young woman brought into the Ottoman palace, surrounded by unimaginable luxury and power. But behind the gilded walls lies a system of control so brutal that death might seem like a mercy. What the sultans did to their concubines goes beyond anything you've heard in history class. You walk through marble corridors lined with silk cushions and gold-threaded tapestries, surrounded by the perfume of exotic flowers and the soft rustle of fine fabrics. Each surface glimmers, each room offers another luxury. But these comforts served a purpose beyond indulgence. They masked a reality of total confinement. The harem presented itself as a place of privilege and protection for the empire's most favored women. You were chosen, set apart from the ordinary world. That separation came at a cost. Eunuchs stood at every entrance and passageway, their presence a constant reminder that you could not come or go as you pleased. Senior women, often former favorites themselves, enforced a strict code of behavior. They decided when you could speak, where you could sit, what you could wear. Ambassadors who visited described rooms filled with lavish furnishings, but noted how the women moved with guarded precision, their expressions carefully controlled. Your conversations were never truly private. Servants and attendants observed everything, and what they heard could be reported to those in power. A misplaced word, a moment of indiscretion, might mean losing whatever small standing you had gained. The system conditioned you to police yourself, to internalize the rules until they felt like your own. This psychological control proved far more effective than mere physical barriers. Comfort became a tool of domination. The soft beds, the delicate foods, the beautiful garments, all these things made compliance easier to accept. They created a dependency on the very structure that confined you. The opulence distracted from the truth. You were living in an intricate prison designed to break your will without leaving a mark. This gilded cage served as the foundation for even greater cruelties to come. Imagine the moment the Sultan's gaze passes over you and moves to another. Your training taught you that his attention meant everything, that your entire existence depended on it. When that attention never came, or when it faded after a brief moment of favor, you faced a different kind of sentence. For those never chosen by the Sultan, life transformed into a slow erosion of hope. You were assigned tedious tasks, mending endless silks, preparing cosmetics for other women, cleaning chambers you would never occupy as anything more than a servant. Your world shrank to the narrow passageways and enclosed courtyards of the harem's inner quarters. You watched others rise while you remained in place, your youth fading with each passing season. Some historical accounts mention the possibility of marriage to state officials, but this rarely meant liberation. Such arrangements served political alliances or rewarded loyal servants of the court. You might be given to an aging pasha or a provincial governor, becoming another possession in a different household, your status still defined by your connection to the palace. There was no return to your family, no life of your own choosing. Women who aged within the harem faced the deepest obscurity. As your hair grayed and your steps slowed, you moved further from the center of activity. You became one of the silent figures dusting forgotten rooms or tending to storage chests filled with unused garments. You had witnessed decades of intrigue and change, but now existed as a ghost in the system that once promised glory. This existence amounted to a living death, a gradual suffocation of spirit within walls that grew heavier each year. You were neither free nor truly seen, trapped in a state of permanent suspension between life and oblivion. The outside world forgot you, while inside you became part of the palace's furniture. Present but without voice or future. You achieve what every concubine was groomed for. You bear the Sultan a son. This moment should mark your ultimate triumph, elevating you to the powerful position of mother of a potential future ruler. Your chambers improve, your servants multiply, and your influence grows. But this victory comes with invisible chains that tighten around you each day. Your new status makes you a target. Other women in the harem watch you with envy, knowing your son could one day determine their fates. Government officials see you as a political variable, someone who might sway the Sultan's decisions or eventually control the empire through her child. Rival factions now view both you and your son as obstacles to their own ambitions. Your life becomes a delicate balancing act of managing alliances and anticipating threats. Historical records suggest numerous methods for eliminating such rivals. Some women suffered sudden illnesses that court physicians could not explain. Others experienced mysterious falls down staircases or accidents in baths. Food tasters became essential, as a single meal could conceal poison. You learned to distrust gifts, to question unexpected kindnesses, to scrutinize every cup and plate. Your survival depended on constant vigilance. You formed alliances with powerful eunuchs or senior court officials who could offer protection. You taught your son early about danger, schooling him in discretion and suspicion. Every public appearance required calculation. Every private conversation demanded caution. You lived knowing that your heightened status made you more vulnerable, not less. This paradox defined your existence. Success in the harem meant inviting perpetual danger. The very achievement that promised security instead placed you at the center of a silent war. Your life transformed into an endless game of survival, where the stakes included not just your position, but your life and your child's future. The privilege of motherhood became a sentence of eternal watchfulness, where trust could mean death and power meant painting a target on yourself and your son. You become inconvenient. Perhaps you witnessed something you shouldn't have, or the Sultan's favor has turned to suspicion. Now the palace's machinery shifts into its most efficient mode: erasure. Some women faced exile to the old palace, a place of faded grandeur where forgotten concubines lived out their days in neglect. The rooms stood empty of luxury, the routines monotonous. The company comprised of others like you, women who had once been close to power, but now constituted a silent community of the discarded. But for those deemed true threats or embarrassing secrets, more permanent solutions awaited. Court chronicles and ambassadors' reports hint at methods designed to leave no trace. Drowning emerged as the preferred means of disposal, a silent, efficient execution that left the body unmarked. Guards would arrive at your chamber after dark, their expressions blank, their instructions clear. You would be taken to the Bosporus under cover of night, weights fastened to your ankles or concealed within your garments. The water accepted you without protest, closing over the last evidence of your existence. Your name would be struck from harem records, your belongings redistributed, your memory systematically erased. Fellow concubines learned not to ask questions, understanding that curiosity could invite the same fate. The system perfected disappearance, turning human beings into ghosts that never haunted anyone. This practice represented the ultimate expression of the Sultan's power, the authority to not just control life, but to annihilate it without consequence. Your body became one more secret sinking into the dark waters. Your story reduced to whispers that even witnesses feared to repeat. The sea became the empire's silent archive, holding countless stories it would never tell, each disappearance reinforcing the absolute dominion the palace maintained over those who lived within its walls.